What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about the QL muscle, the Quadratus Lumborum. The Quadratus Lumborum is actually a posterior abdominal muscle, which means it's an ab in your back, essentially. So it dictates a lot of your rotating, bending, twisting. It's always doing something. Even when you're walking around, it's helping stabilize you. So when someone comes into the office and they have some low back pain, the first thing I do is I look at the Quadratus Lumborum. Now, why do I do this? Typically, the QL can get pretty tight, and the QL actually runs from your last rib down to your hip. Now, if you have a tight muscle, that means you have a short muscle, because muscles are essentially connections, okay? So the QL runs from your last rib to your hip, all right? You have this connection right here. Let's say this is your hip, this is your last rib. Now, if it gets tight, it's shortening, right? It's shortening that connection between your last rib and your hip. So if I have a tight QL on my right side, it's shortening that, and it's going to actually pull your right hip up and back more than likely. So you're going to walk in a hole on the right side and walk long on your left side. That's where you hear chiropractors or massage therapists talk about, well, you have one leg shorter than the other. It doesn't necessarily mean that your bone is shorter. It just means that functionally you're being pulled out of alignment and you're falling in a hole and walking long, okay, on one side or the other. So in order to release this QL, typically a massage therapist or a clinical massage therapist, someone who does structural body work, they're going to do compression therapy or trigger point therapy on that QL. So when you do that, you're actually trying to lengthen the QL. So you're taking it from where it's tight and you're trying to elongate it and loosen it up. Okay, so a loose muscle is essentially, an elongated muscle. So now if you do this, that should help your body work more efficiently. It should help your leg lengths be the same length. So if someone comes in, they've got low back pain, they've got shin splints, you could have a variety of different issues. The first thing I want to do, more than likely, is check to see if your hips are off or if your legs are short. It's pretty much the same thing. So if that's the case, then I'm immediately going to go work on the QL muscle, and I'm going to try to lengthen that QL. Most of the time, that can help release a lot of tension and compression in your low back. It's going to help you move around with a normal gait, and it's going to help alleviate a lot of pain. So that's my number one thing that I look at pretty much 90% of my clients that come in the door. Obviously, people come in with mid-back pain. They come in with trap pain. They come in with neck pain too, TMJD. But typically, for low back pain, that's my first look. It's not the only thing for low back pain. It's not the only muscle that you target, but it's what I look at first. Obviously, when your hips are out of alignment, it can be due to your tight hamstrings or tight quads, but that'll be a story for another day.